Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
One day, Galia came up to me and said, I wrote a play, and by the way, you're directing it. So that's basically how I got involved. And then we basically started working. Galia started writing. We had a reading, and this is our second reading, and I'm very excited about it, so here are we now.
This is my first time playing Eden. It was previously played by another actress, but I was asked to do the role by the director and the playwright.
I saw the first reading, and they asked me loosely at the first reading to be in this one. One thing led to another, and here I am.
So now I got roped into reading stage directions.
If you can look at me a little bit deeper.
I saw a lot of really interesting and important ideas in the first draft, and I guess I want to see more direction taken with those ideas, more specificity.
This is a person who wants to be loved, just like my mother wants to be loved, just like any of you want to be loved. Just that's a normal part of the human condition. And instead of, well, I'm a transgendered person who wants to be loved. It's just I'm just a person.
I was just trying to look at this story like any other story out there.
This isn't any different from any other play with any other people. This is a play about people. This is a play about relationships. This is a play about love. And I think that can fit into anything. The fact that this falls under maybe a queer lens, that isn't Garlia's focus. And that's what I really like about it. This is something about anyone you could meet any day on the street. And she also gives those people a voice, which tends to be missing from art, from literature. We study, we read a lot of the same things, and this is something new, and I really respect her for that.
See that I need you to understand who
Eden is the main character, Jacqueline's best friend. They've been friends since college, is what I gather, and she's kind of tough talking, but probably kind of softy on the inside, and she doesn't really understand what her friend is going through, but she's trying. A little bit about Eden.
She's not confused about the fact that she's gay, but she is confused about the fact of, does she want to be with a woman who identifies himself with being a man who wants to have a sex change because she really wants to be with a woman because a woman would be sensitive to myself, Jacqueline, the character's feelings. So dealing with that whole issue, that's what I bring differently to the role, I guess. I mean, the lady who read it the first time dealt with that, but every actor deals with every issue in a different way.
Yeah, I think my interpretation of sexuality as a whole and gender as a whole is what helps me to do this justice, if I do it justice at all. The way I see sexuality is there is no black and white. Call it the Kinsey scale, call it a pH scale, what have you. I don't think there's any such thing as this is gay, this is straight, and this is bisexual, and there are no shades of gray in between. I think that everyone, whether they'd like to admit it to themselves or not, kind of falls in somewhere on this scale or spectrum. And I think people don't know as much about it, but I think gender can be much the same way. But we're taught, you know, when we're born, it's little girls get a pink dress and little boys get blue pants and live in a blue room. And I think we're starting as a society to evolve in that way, but I think it's something that's very foreign to people, something that makes people very uncomfortable. So I think my understanding of sexuality, my understanding of that really contributes to how I perceive this material and how I want to treat this material.
'Cause I don't love you perfectly.
One of the actors that works with the cell is playing the main role, and for me, the element in this play that is the most foreign is not the black and white issues, and it's not the transgender, the gay issues, but it's the church issue. I have a, I'm a bit of a stranger to Jesus, and maybe it's because I'm Jewish, maybe it's because, I don't know. So it's, I'm really excited because my friend Almira, who's playing Jacqueline, is a Christian, and I've been in church with her, and so I'm curious as to somebody who actually really believes in Jesus would deal with this.
It's a totally different cast, except for Abia, the actress playing Abia is the same actress from the first reading. But the dynamic changes between Jacqueline and Eden because we're two new actors who, just in conversation, converse around pretty well. So we have good chemistry with each other. Not that the other two didn't, but I think we are more comfortable with the language, so to speak. That's what makes it a little different this time. That's what makes it different, not a little.
This rewrite begins with already jumping into their relationship as opposed to we see them meet for the first time. So there's a little backstory to them as we begin. So I don't think there's so much to build on. It's happening, it's there. So that's one thing that I really, really like about the newness to the script. I think there's a greater fullness to their relationship, which I think Garlia kind of honed in on, and she definitely changed scenes with Eden and Jackie, and I think again making the relationship more full. So yeah, I like it.
What I like about this version is the fact that it's a lot cleaner, but I guess that's what you always have when you have multiple drafts, so I think that it's a lot sharper right now and really to the point of what it is that Garlia wanted to say with this play.
All kind of needed a, I don't know how to explain it. I guess a different black girl's perspective.
People can criticize me all they want. I'll take it and I'll say, what is that person trying to say? What didn't I do with this draft? And it's possible I had a thought about the piece that person has a thought, and we're not coming from the same area. So, either they'll understand what would I have to say, or I'll kind of understand what that person has to say.
Well, I have more hair for this version as I'm growing it out. The first time my major preoccupation was as Shay, being sympathetic to what it must feel like to be a stranger to your body, to be in the shower and not recognize who this person is, or to be female and have your period, and how daunting that must be. And this time, my major focus is the relationship, because that's the most important component for Abia, is someone who loves him, someone who can stand by him and his changes, and who he really is, someone that can accept that.
The questions that are being asked in the play are very challenging, so that really helped me to be also even more on point with the play, especially in terms of what it is that we eventually want to say with it.
Mistakes so senselessly. Am I far from redemption? 'Cause I don't love you perfectly. 'Cause it's human law that everyone falls.